I'll be honest, I did not expect to like L.O.L Surprise the movie. I'm certainly not the target audience, but I actually really enjoyed it. Now, I will say it's barely a feature length, it's 47 minutes. But actually, it's a pretty decent length of time, particularly given the target audience age. It's for younger children. But because it's so well animated with such great messages in it, I found it quite satisfying to watch. I only watched it because I was curious. I thought, well, how are they going to do this? I don't really know that much about L.O.L Surprise. It could even be pronounced L.O.L Surprise. I literally have no idea. But I still really enjoyed it, and it starts off as live action. And our young protagonist is playing with her L.O.L Surprise dolls. And then a little bit of magic happens, and I will say there is a weird continuity error, which I will discuss towards the end, but a little bit of magic happens and she finds herself in this animated world full of L.O.L Surprise dolls. And I guess characters is the better word to use there. And they're all making films. And they're making different kinds of movies. Horror and comedy and sci-fi, superhero films. And our protagonist, Queen Bee. Queen Bee is kind of there along for the ride. And there is a kind of bit of premise to it. Basically, they're making all of these different genres because they can't decide how they want their film to end. But ultimately, when you're watching it, it's actually introducing you to the different aspects of filmmaking. It looks at people who work behind the scenes, the makeup artists. Obviously, these girls love fashion and makeup. And yeah, it does kind of talk about that quite a lot. But we also have some very headstrong, powerful female figures in this who are taking charge and making things happen for themselves. It looks at special effects and, how the lighting is done in films. Obviously not 100% technically accurate, but it's inspiring. Certainly if I had watched this back in the day when I was maybe target audience age, I would have been really inspired and motivated to go and get some of my toys and create a stop motion film. And I think that's probably the film's aim. Maybe somebody can correct me on that, but I feel like that's the point. The fact that at the very beginning a stop motion film is being made with the toys, and then it's all about the different aspects of filmmaking, and then how everything is brought together, and also a bit of problem solving, introductions to different genres. I just think it's fabulous. I'm not saying it's, the most fantastically well developed, gripping narrative, or necessarily the best in terms of messages. There is a lot of focus on fashion and makeup and things, but as I said, certainly with the character Royal Bee, who is she's inspiring, she is, encouraging Queen Bee with her aspirations and her passions. She's certainly the kind of female figure that I think could be pivotal in being inspirational and providing good messages. So depending on what the young viewer is looking for in this, I think they'd get some inspiration for making films, maybe spark an interest in cinema. I'm assuming if they're watching this, they do like films, or maybe TV shows. And I think that works really well. With regards to the actual stop motion of the film, I was really, really pleased with it, really impressed. There's one scene that I thought was really detailed, and it would have taken them ages to do this. And it's the scene with the water cooler. And it's a really brief scene. It's actually sped up when you watch it. But the amount of moves it has is insane. And I was really impressed with that. So I really liked the stop motion. A lot of skill gone into this. The editing is brilliant. It's very visually engaging for the younger audience. And, I'm 29. I don't think I've ever held a L.O.L surprise doll. I don't even know if I've ever seen one in the flesh. I'm not necessarily the target audience, but as a fan of animation and particularly stop motion, this is something that I really enjoyed, and I thought it was a really great work of art. Yeah, it's only 47 minutes, but it's better to have something that's shorter and well made than longer that dips in and out of quality. I might not be the target audience, but I think the target audience will get a lot out of this. It's very inspiring, very motivating, got some good messages in there. I'm a lot more pleasantly surprised by this than I expected to be.